Hi, boys and girls. We miss you so much. But today, Miss Stephenson and I are together.
Hi.
And it's St. Patrick's Day. We wore green. I hope you have your green on. And we cannot go past a holiday without reading a book together. So we're going to try every now and then to get together or individually and share books with you that we can hopefully see some pictures of you and you can still see us. And we hope you're all doing well and enjoy our St. Patrick's Day book we have for you today. The Luckiest Leprechaun, a tail-wagging tale of friendship.
This is about a grouchy little leprechaun.
I hope none of you are grouchy at home with your parents.
And I hope none of you are being grouchy with your parents while you're doing your schoolwork. Miss Pilcher, would you like to read first?
Sure. Mackenzie O'Shamrock at your service, but you can call me Mac. I'm a leprechaun, and I don't care if you believe in me or not. Get too close, and I'll show you who's real with my hammer. I may be small, but with leprechauns are not to be trifled with. There, now, that settles. Pull up a toadstool or a chair if you're too big, and I'll tell you my story. I was born beneath a fairy hill back when time was new, ever since I'd been making shoes for the fairy folk and guarding my gold with greedy people. Treasure hunters had to get up pretty early in the morning to get the best of Mackenzie O'Shamrock. And since leprechauns work at night and sleep during the day, I'm up much earlier than most. No, they haven't made the human yet who could outsmart me.
He's a sneaky little thing. So he sleeps during the day.
Oh, so is he nocturnal?
He is nocturnal.
That's a record.
Those people found a new way to boil my potatoes. They stopped believing in leprechauns. They believe in all sorts of nonsense, but the little man making shoes beneath the very hedge could possibly exist. It got so only children and oddballs like Professor Chester believed in me. I didn't need people anyway. I had a nice home under a tree in a quiet park. As long as I had my gold and my work, this leprechaun was content. Every night I cobbled for the fairies. Since all the little things do is dance around anyway and lose their shoes, I was always busy. Every morning I packed away my tools and I curled up in my cozy bed. He makes shoes for fairies?
Yes, everyone has to have a job. And that's just what I was doing when one fine morning when I heard a horrible scratching overhead. Dirt poured down on my favorite armchair as a pair of giant paws burst through the ceiling. My thimble collections clattered to the floor. I grabbed my hammer, ran outside to see who was wrecking my home. I expected a goblin or some other horrible monster.
What could it be that's tearing up its house?
Look at those paws.
Look at the pot of gold.
Oh, pot of gold. I found a shaggy red dog buried a stinky soup bone. Hello, she barked. Who are you? I'm Mackenzie O'Shamrock, I shouted, and you've got some nerve destroying my home. You'll not be stealing my gold, you mangled mortal. So just take your boat and go.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize anyone was living here, the dog said. Is that your gold? It sure is pretty. Go, shoot, get lost, scram. But that dog would not budge. Shaking her head, she said, I feel terrible. I've got to make this up to you. I'll fix your house. I'll be your guard dog. I don't need a guard dog, Mackenzie said. Grouchy.
But you must need a friend. Everyone needs friends. The dog said, my name is Lucky. What's yours? That made me even madder. Mackenzie O'Shamrock, I yelled. Oh, that's right, you did tell me, Lucky replied. But that's so much to remember. maybe I just call you Mac. Yeah. I hope we'll be friends. Everything's more fun when you do it together, don't you think? Just the other day,
Lucky would have gone on and on and on for hours talking like that if I had not stopped him. But I told her to go away and stay away from here. Apparently, stay was the only command that silly dog knew. From then on, wherever I went, there was Lucky. She was slobbering over me when I woke up at dusk. She was on my heels when I gathered cobwebs for threads for the tiny shoes. I could not get rid of her. Lucky even tailed me when I made deliveries to the fairies. Look.
And she always had a cheerful word or 100. It drove me nuts. That dog was even happy when it rained. Rain is where rainbows come from, Lucky said. I love rainbows, don't you? I could chase them all day. Why don't you go chase them so I can get some quiet around here? I growled.
Man, he's grouchy.
Ooh.
After a while, Lucky learned not to talk so much, especially when I first woke up in the evenings. I won't say we became friends, but she got slightly less annoying. Speaking of annoying, remember that human I mentioned a while back? The oddball who believed in leprechauns? That's right, that's Professor Chester. Well, he started snooping around my park.
He's after my gold, I cried. Maybe he just wants to be friends, Lucky suggested. I snorted. Humans want only one thing from a leprechaun, gold. But he won't get the best of Mackenzie Old Shamrock. Professor Chester was getting dangerously close. He even found a fairy shoe. Don't worry, Mac, said Lucky. You've got your guard dog. Remember? I won't let anything happen to your gold. I took no comfort in the mutt's ravens.
I watched Professor Chester poring over his books of leprechaun lore. If only I could prove their existence, he muttered. I shuddered. Maybe he'll just go away, Lucky said. I thought about packing up, but I like my cozy life under the tree in my cute little house. Besides, business was good, and it's not easy to find a park filled with fairies. Then one day, while I was sleeping, the professor found my tree. He found my door. He was about to capture me, and he would have gotten my gold for sure when...
Woof, woof, woof. Lucky came charging out of the woods. The professor cried, "Help! Monster, help!" He dropped his map and ran off screaming. I thought I was having a nightmare. I rolled over with a groan and fell right back to sleep. Professor Chester just kept running until he wore out the soles of his shoes. Turned out the professor was scared of dogs.
Did Lucky save his life?
It's beginning to look like that new friend came in handy.
That evening, I woke up feeling something was wrong. For one thing, that silly dog was not licking my face. Suddenly, with a jerk, I remembered the nightmare. I checked for my gold and all my secret hiding places. It was gone, and so was Lucky. I called Lucky's name until my voice was hoarse, but there was no answer. I felt as if I had lost my shadow and my friend, and now my gold. Then it hit me. My worst fear had come true. That dog wasn't as silly as she seemed. Lucky had tricked me into trusting her. As soon as I let down my guard, she ran off and stole my gold. I, Mackenzie O'Shamrock, the smartest leprechaun of them all, had finally been tricked out of my treasure. Oh, I thought that was a nice dog.
I searched the park for hours, but there was no sign of my gold or of Lucky. I told myself the dog had skipped off with my treasure, but part of me didn't believe it. One minute I was furious, the next I was worried. What if that silly dog Pooch had chased a rainbow into a traffic or gotten herself taken to the pound?
Oh, no.
I couldn't even keep my mind on my missing gold.
Oh, he seems to be worried about Lucky.
Oh, he has feelings, I think he said.
You look so sad.
By dawn, I was the saddest leprechaun in the world. After centuries of being suspicious, I'd finally opened my heart up and, pow, the first friend I'd made had stolen my gold. The sun came up and I wiped away my tear. Then a voice behind me said, "Why are you crying?"
I turned and I saw Lucky and I saw my gold. Where were you? I yelled. I was worried sick about you. Lucky licked my face. You do care. You do care if we are friends. I wiped the dog slobber from my face and grumbled. Well, I was just worried about my gold. Lucky explained that she had seen Professor Chester nosing around near my tree. After she chased him away, she hid my treasure in the tool shed just to make sure it was safe. Then, worn out from all that running around and excitement, she had fallen asleep.
Did you really spend all night looking for me? Lucky asked. And the gold? I added hastily. But the damage was done. The dog knew I cared. And she wouldn't stop wagging her tail over it. So there's my story. Leprechaun gets gold. Leprechaun gets dog. Leprechaun loses gold. Leprechaun admits that a loyal friend is worth more than gold as long as the friend doesn't slobber too much. Now, if that isn't a tale worth telling upon a toadstool, I'm sure I don't know what is.
Oh, look, now he has a friend and he's going to be glad he has him. So, boys and girls, Miss Pilcher and I would like for you today, when you're trying to find something to do, go to your bedroom, go in the living room, try to find something to make some sort of leprechaun trap. And if you do make one, get your parents to send a picture to our Facebook page so we can see that you're working on that. Or they can even post a picture of you doing your schoolwork. We'll talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.